English book is on the bookshelves
Yes.
at your local bookstore.
Has our faces on it?
It does.
Yes. Has a nice book smell.
It sure does. Yeah. And Cameron, why do we need to buy the book?
Because, I mean, personally, I am someone that cannot learn just from hearing something.
Yes.
I can hear a Korean word 50 million times, but I will not remember it until I see it written down.
Yeah.
So if you are like me, having the book is great to look along with as we're talking about these dialogues and different grammar expressions so that it sticks in your mind.
Yeah.
And you know how it's spelled. You know, there are a lot of words that in English, it is not written the way it sounds.
Yeah, and I have to say it is the opposite with me because I've learned Korean by just hearing Korean. So sometimes when I actually look at the letters, it really confirms and solidifies. Oh, wait a second. Oh, it's that 받침.
Yeah.
You know? So it's very important that you have those letters in front of you.
Yeah.
It really makes a difference. So please make sure to go and get your book. An annual subscription gives you 20% off.
Yes.
So that's even better.
Yeah.
You can save your time.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Save time and money.
That's right. Okay. We have a travel dialogue for you today. I got bumped from my flight, part 4.
Yes.
Okay. Today, you know, Kayla's very excited because she, you know, they're like, oh, you can get the money on the spot. They'll give you a refund.
Yes.
Now we get to see what happens. If something is a walk in the park,
Yes.
what is that?
This means it's really easy. It's not hard to do at all.
Okay. Go up against someone or something.
You're challenging someone, kind of like you're fighting them or like, I'm going to beat you. It's that feeling.
This is an interesting expression. One red, R-E-D, cent.
I haven't heard this in a while.
It's a little old.
1 red cent.
Yeah.
So a red cent is a penny. So it's a small amount, but you're usually saying like, I didn't receive any money. I didn't receive 1 red cent. That's the feeling of this phrase.
I see. Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue.
So, how did it go?
It was a walk in the park. The moment I told the lady at the help desk that I knew what my rights were, she was extremely helpful.
Who would have thought it would be so easy to go up against a big corporation and win?
Not only did I get a cash refund, but she booked me on the flight she offered me before.
The one in the first class section?
Yep. And it didn't cost me 1 red cent. Thanks for all your help.
Let's look at our dialogue on page 122. I got bumped from my flight, part 4. Okay, so let's begin. Maxwell says, so how did it go? And Kayla says, it was a walk in the park. The moment I told the lady at the help desk that I knew what my rights were, she was extremely helpful. So remember, Maxwell told her, if you go, they can give you a refund on the spot.
Yes.
And so she did it. And then she also said, these are my rights as a consumer.
Yes.
Okay? So that's why it was a walk in the park. So what is that?
A walk in the park is something that is very easy. You had to do something,
Yeah.
but it was not hard at all.
Not.
It was like walking in a park. It wasn't even like hiking. Hiking can be very difficult.
Sure.
But walking through a park, la-da-da, look at the birds, look at the bees. Like it's just a very pleasant, easy experience.
That's right. Okay. Okay, so her rights. She told them what her rights were.
Yes.
Okay. I have a right. I have rights
Yes.
with an S. What does this mean?
So your rights are the things that you receive just because you are you. Like you don't have to earn them. You deserve them or you have them because you are human, you exist, and every human should have these things.
And that's why we have the expression human rights.
Right, 인권.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just as a human, there are things that you are entitled entitled to that you will have just because you're human.
Okay.
In the same way, as a customer of this airline, because of the law, she has certain rights. There are certain things that she gets just because it is the law.
Okay.
In this case, it is that refund.
Okay, very good. And then Maxwell, what does he say?
Who would have thought it would be so easy to go up against a big corporation and win? Yeah.
Now, our power pattern today is who would have thought, or who would have thought, who would have thought.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought. How do we use this expression, and what are you trying to do with it?
So this expression is kind of saying, well, that is unexpected, or that's unbelievable,
Yeah.
or oh my gosh, that is different than my expectations. So when we think of big corporations, we think they have like really big, strong law teams.
Right.
And anytime we want to say, this is my right, they're going to fight back. And it's going to be difficult to get the things that we need because they're a big corporation. And,
Right.
you know, big corporations are often evil.
Yeah.
You know, there's that image, right? So Maxwell is saying like, oh, I thought this would be a big problem. It would take a long time to solve, but
it wasn't.
it wasn't. Who would have thought?
Huh.
Yeah.
It's a quite surprise. Unexpected.
Yeah.
It would be so easy to go up against. If you go up against something, what does this mean?
You are challenging or you're fighting this person or this company or even like a team. So a baseball team can go up against their rival. So it's their rival team that they are playing in a game.
Yeah.
So go up against is kind of like that feeling of versus,
Yeah.
right?
You're fighting.
You're fighting against them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do feel like if you go up against something, it could be something bigger than you.
Oh, yeah. For example, you know how like some companies get really big,
Yeah.
but then like a small startup goes up against the corporation.
Right.
They like try and make a product that's better. We're going to be better than you.
Yeah.
That would be we're going to like challenge you and make the better product.
Yeah. So oftentimes you hear about these sort of lawsuits. I mean, the classic example is Erin Brockovich. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, that movie with Julia Roberts. Yeah.
Right. And she goes up against these companies that are massive.
Yeah.
And so you feel like there's a bit of that challenge.
Right, right. You're fighting them.
But it's a challenge. Okay. Kayla says, not only did I get a cash refund, but she booked me on the flight she offered me before.
Oh.
Wow, she got two things.
That's nice.
So she got a refund, and she was able to get on a flight.
I love that in our dialogues, everything always goes well in the end.
We love
So
happy
nice.
endings.
Happy endings here at Power
Yeah.
English. Yeah.
Now, of course, I want to warn everybody that there is not always a happy ending.
This is fantasy. This is a fantasy flight. Yeah.
But I think if you play your cards right, you can get a refund. I don't know about the booking. Okay. What does Maxwell say?
Maxwell then asks the question, the one in the first class section?
Yeah. And Kayla says, yep. And it didn't cost me 1 red cent. Thanks for all your help. So she gets a full refund.
Yeah.
Then she gets a first class seat.
Yes.
I think I would like to be bumped from a flight.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think so,
If you
yeah.
get this in the end, especially if it doesn't cost you 1 red cent.
Okay. Why is it 1 빨간 센트?
Yeah. So the penny is made of copper. Well, originally.
Yeah.
I don't know how much copper is still in it.
Sure.
But copper has that like reddish kind of color to it. So it's just almost like a comical way. Instead of just saying 1 cent, if you want to emphasize it even more, you're putting red in there.
Yeah.
1 red cent. And it's just because you're adding that extra descriptive word that it just emphasizes even more. I paid nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
It's kind of in Korean. You say 한 푼도. And pun isn't even a currency that Koreans use anymore. It's like a really old currency.
Oh my gosh,
But
look
it's
at you.
Right? It's like, I didn't pay even this really, really small amount.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I don't even know how much pun is. It's like less than 1. Like it's
I did not even know that was a currency. I know that expression, but I did not know that it was a currency.
yeah, it's like a lower division
Wow.
than I don't know how small it is, but
Look at you, Cameron. You know, like, Korea's history inside and out. Okay, so it is for emphasis. Like, I did not even pay anything.
Yeah.
0. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
So, how did it go?
It was a walk in the park. The moment I told the lady at the help desk that I knew what my rights were, she was extremely helpful.
Who would have thought it would be so easy to go up against a big corporation and win?
Not only did I get a cash refund, but she booked me on the flight she offered me before.
The one in the first class section?
Yep, and it didn't cost me 1 red cent. Thanks for all your help.
Okay, it's time for Power Note. We're on pages 124 and 25. We're gonna give you a lot of example sentences. Let's look at the first one. A walk in the park means something that's so easy, as if you're just taking a nice little walk.
yeah.
It's a pleasant experience.
La-di-da-da-di-da.
Okay, how was the final exam in physics class?
I studied hard for it, so it was a walk in the park. So easy.
So easy. Gosh, physics was hard.
I know.
For me, it was.
I stopped taking it half. I started the class and I was like, not for me. See you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solving the design problem wasn't a walk in the park, but we got it done.
Yeah, this means it was a little difficult to solve this problem.
And it's interesting how native speakers use these expressions in the negative to actually emphasize that it was hard.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it was not easy. It feels like it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay?
Not easy.
Pretty difficult. Okay? It wasn't a walk in the park. It's actually saying it was pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, a walk in the park.
Yeah. I mean, I think anything that, for example, things that you thought were going to be difficult but actually ended up kind of easy.
Right.
That could also be a walk in the park.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, if you go up against someone or something means to challenge, to fight.
Yes.
Do you think Maria can win the match?
I don't know. She's going up against the reigning champion.
Okay. Again, the champion. It's they're probably a better player.
Yeah.
So you're going up against that person. It isn't easy when a regular person goes up against their own government.
That's true. You know, it's a government, we would like to think they're good, but it's not like every government is 100% good.
Right.
Right? I mean, we live in South Korea. We're from the United States. We have fairly stable governments, but, you know, I mean, let's take America, for example. People go against the government in terms of, like, filing a lawsuit, saying, oh, this law is not correct. It goes against the Constitution. They fight for a right to have something.
Right.
Those types of things, you can go against the government.
Yeah. I saw a great movie recently, only because I really do like the actor Jamie Foxx.
Ah, yes.
And also Tommy Lee Jones, who is like famous back in, you know, for all the thriller kind of action movies.
Yes.
So it was called The Burial.
Okay.
And it was about basically a funeral home.
Okay.
Yeah. So this kind of local owner of several funeral home is about to be bought up by this massive corporation.
Okay.
So he decides to file a lawsuit.
To sue them.
To sue them.
Yeah.
And he's going up against this huge corporation. And so it is their kind of fight, and it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, those are always great movies, I feel. Like
Yeah.
where the small business goes up against the big business.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
You can also, I mean, if we're talking about movies, superheroes can go up against the villain.
Yes.
Right? Like if you think about all of these movies where the evil aliens come to Earth and the superheroes have to fight for the freedom of Earth.
Yes.
That's the heroes going up against the villains.
Yes, that's right.
Right?
So we always want like the the weaker and the smaller team to win.
I mean, not always. If they're the bad guys and they're weaker.
Then that's...
But I do think there is a general human want to, like, cheer, what we call cheer for the underdog.
Underdog.
The one that is not expected to win.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 red cent is really the smallest amount of money. But usually, and we use this for emphasis.
Yes.
Did not pay 1 red cent. Okay. How much money have you saved this year?
Are you kidding? I haven't saved 1 red cent in this economy.
Okay.
I couldn't save any money.
Yeah. So it's the emphasis on I could not save anything.
Yes.
I wouldn't pay 1 red cent for his advice.
Yeah.
Again, like never would I give him even a cent.
He's not worth even the smallest amount of money.
Right. So again, it's for emphasis.
Right. And this cent, of course, 1 cent is 1/100th of a dollar.
Yeah.
You cannot buy anything with that.
No.
Like, especially in America, like modern values, modern amounts, with inflation and everything, 1 cent is really nothing.
That is nothing.
Right? So saying you wouldn't pay 1 red cent means not at all.
Not at all.
It has no value.
That's right. Okay. Our power pattern today is who would have thought?
Yes. Who would have thought? That's so surprising.
Yeah.
Or that's against my expectations.
Yeah. No one would have thought about this.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that a sunset could look so beautiful?
Meaning, the sunset is unbelievably beautiful.
Yeah.
Nah. Who would have thought that something so simple could taste so good?
Yes.
It's just so,
It's just like 3 ingredients, and it's amazing.
Gosh.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that Cameron and Kristen would move to Korea and would be on live, not live, but be on national radio?
I would have never dreamt that in my wildest dreams.
No, never thought.
Yeah.
Never thought.
This can also be used sarcastically. Who would have thought touching a hot stove would burn your fingers? Like, I've heard that before. Like, whenever someone does something dumb,
Stupid,
and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I burned my finger."
Yeah.
And your friend's like, "Oh, who would have thought touching a hot stove would burn your finger?" Duh.
All right. Our power vocab is right, so like human rights.
Yes.
Do check out the definition on page 126, and please stop by Audio
Ohakdang.
Pay a very small fee, and you can have access to so many great programs on EBS Radio. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.